Hello everyone and welcome back to Bandai Product and Figure Review. I have a really exciting episode for us. I managed to snag one of the newest model kits and my local hobby shop only had 4 of them and I managed to snag one of them. And you're probably wondering what got me so excited that I'm literally prioritizing this one over several other video projects right now, and that's none other than Gundam RX-78, release of the RX-78-2 Gundam version 2.0. I have been waiting a long time for this model kit, and I've seen so many really good reviews over it. So I'm really excited to manage to get this, and this literally just had only 4 come in at my local hobby shop. So I am stoked at how well that I managed to get this model kit. So without further ado, let's roll opening and take a look at the 45th anniversary version of the As you can see, Bandai has done an outstanding job with its art depiction of the RX-78 version 2.0 to give us a really good understanding of what's really different, especially with the box, is we're going to be looking at none other than the original RX-78 as a comparison in this video. So we're actually getting 2 reviews for the price of 1. Now that is what I call a video deal. But overall, it's already looking really nice. Sorry for the glare. But as we can see, that this actually does come with a shield, as this one is not depicted with a shield. But it does actually have a shield. It's kind of cool how they actually add the shield and the blaster. And we have this one with its beam saber. So it's getting a little bit misleading. But as we can see, it's a closer torso shot. Or I should say a further torso shot compared to this, because this is just a nice, really nice headshot right here. But we're looking at the actual comparison, so we can actually go sideways, and this is where we can actually compare the real grade quality of these model kits. So let's just zoom in real quick. So first off, the biggest thing that we all can tell is that, one, it's in English. So this one is the version 2.0. It actually has English translations for everything that you would need to know, especially about the core fighter, the inner frame, the amount of, scale of the universe, and different types of poses that you can do. Same thing with this. This was basically going through the same thing, showing the exoskeleton, the core fighter, the sticker sheets, and various other things. Because again, you have to remember, this is number 1 in the line. So this was marking the start of all of the other real grade model kits. So this was the benchmark when it came out. So looking at how this to number 40, we're going to see how well Bandai actually did in its evolution for its real grade model kits. And that will be a definitely a good video to do over a build review. So definitely look forward to that video. But overall, it's looking really nice. The skeleton here, as we can see right here, it has a really nice skeleton sheet where you can just place your parts on top. So this is like an inner frame or inner skeleton work where you can just put all of your armor on top of it. The real grade one does this step one more further, and it gives us a lot more detail to our model. This is almost akin to the Perfect Grade Unleashed, which I'll probably do one of those videos since I'm going to be doing a build series for my panels that I usually take on the road. So definitely look forward to that video as well. But we are sticking to this. Now if we rotate them, and we can see on the other side of here, and we can see a lot of the posability that this actually has. So this one has fairly good articulation, very good weapons, and I do like how the older one shows us a little bit more posability, especially they show us each individual joint. But again, this was to sell the model. This was all of the cool gimmicks that this would have been able to give you, especially with the cool little core fighter. And these are 144 scale, so they are fairly tiny little things. So we also have very good detail with its blaster. Same with this, but it also gives us instructions on that it doesn't need paint, it will need clippers, and it is colored parts. So we'll actually see how well different or elaborate these colored pieces are going to be. And on the sides, it's basically the same as the front cover for both of these. So let's actually open this up and actually take a look at the inside and see how well the plastic is. Alright, starting off with Runner A. So we have it where I've noticed that they did a very good job with color part separation. So this is going to make this model kit so much easier and so much fun to build. So starting off, we have parts on here for blue, red, yellow, another red, and more yellow. And as we can see, a lot of these parts are for the torso, shield, the core fighter, and the chest unit, as well as some vents. And this is the part that I really like, is the fact that this is a separate piece to go onto the shield, as well as the part for the chest unit and various other side armor panels for its waist armor unit. Overall, it is really nice, and as I can already see, which I accidentally did, was I accidentally popped it off. So this is going to be one of those really nice ones where you can easily just pop these sections out, so they are sectioned off, where you can easily pop these off into its corresponding colors. As we can see, it's all fully solid and have these nice little markers here that basically tell us where the ejection for the colored parts are. So these were all done on the same ejection mold. So this is the part that makes this so much better and nicer, is the fact that it gives us multiple colors. So that's one of the things about this model kit that's a little above the standard ones for real grades, is the fact that it has this cool ejection molding. And it still has the basic flash marks here and there, but that's basically the standard process. But overall, it is well molded. The detail on here is really, really well done, and I'm really happy that it's turned out to be this nice. So I actually haven't got to take a look at the original real grade, but overall, this is looking like it's going to be a fun project, especially if you want to paint these, since they're already roughly the color you are going to need. So a lot of this you may not need to paint, but give you a great opportunity to practice your panel lining. So there is a lot of panel lines that you can do. Next, we have Runner B, and this is where we can see some of our clear parts, pieces of our shoes, or I should say feet for our unit. And this is actually an interesting thing that they're actually doing, is they gave us a little cockpit glass. So I'm wondering if there's like a little sticker that can go on here, but that's already really nice for that. So I'm wondering if there is a way for that to have like a little lid that goes on top. So we'll keep looking. There's still several white pieces left, so but that's really cool that that is a colored piece. It's a nice tinted blue for the cockpit. And this is the part where I really like about the shield, that it is compartmentalized. So painting wise, it's going to be really interesting, because we're already having the white, and then we're going to have an inner piece right here for our gray. So we're not really going to need to paint much for this shield, especially for the black. And then we have the head, which is a front and back, and as we can see, It is looking really nice with its raised detail for these lines and the face, which we do actually have some red clear parts for, I believe, the eyes or part for the V portion for the head. And the mouth guard is actually pretty good with the details, so that's going to be a fun thing, especially if you have a panel liner. That's going to give us a little bit more detail. Overall, again, it's a nice white, nice red, and again, this is with that new ejection molding, so these pieces can easily just pop out. So if you wanted to, you know, spray these and these, you would basically be able to see where you would want to pop these all off. Next, we have runner C, and this is again going to be comprising more of our white pieces. We have several pieces for our waist units, arms, several joints, caps for the joints, like for the elbows, and various other armor pieces for the toes. And yeah, there's quite a bit of nice detail on here. So, and we also have very nice detail on the inside of these armor pieces here. So this is a really nice touch that they're actually doing, because a lot of this pieces of armor you're not really going to see. So the fact that they give you that amount of detail just shows the attention to detail for those modelers that really want to show the inside of the mech. Next up, we have runner D, and this is where we're going to have our bazooka, our V crown, several other front and back armor pieces for the legs, same with the hands. And I love how these beam sabers are. Unfortunately, my camera does not do this justice, but those are really nicely detailed beam sabers. That is going to be really nice, especially panel lining all of those. And coming down over here, we have our bazooka. This is the only part that I don't like, is the fact that it's split in half. I wish they would have just done something like this, but this is kind of where they, a lot of the missile railing and your hand grips and all that stuff go. And this is actually a nice little feature. It gives us little rocket pods, I believe, or at least that's how they look to me, is little rockets. So that's really nice that they're going to give us that additional detail that will just pop into the clip. Overall, the coloration is really nice. It's kind of a, it's not white, but it's a nice smoky white. So I do actually have a Gundam white, so I definitely want to give that color a try. And so I may end up trying to airbrush this particular model, just for the amount of detail that I want to give into this. Next up, we have runner E, and this is where we're going to see a lot of the parts for like the inner frame, as we can see here. So we could almost paint these silver, but it's a really nice smoky color to this, and it's really well molded. And a lot of these are for the, like I was saying, for the inner frame, or the skeleton frame that the armor goes on. So these are where these pieces will most likely all go, giving us a really cool dynamic of the inner mechanisms of the unit. Next up, we have runner F, and this is where we're going to see a lot of the actual inner frame. So we're going to probably end up having to build the inner frame a little bit. We can see that we have the parts of the chest unit, the head, which are in two pieces. So this is going to give us a lot of really nice detail for on how much detail you actually want. We have the backpack. So it's this lovely brown metal or dark iron color. So I do actually have this color, so I may end up wanting to spray paint it all dark iron, or just build it real quick and then spray it over. But overall, it's looking really nice. You can kind of see all of those raised detail with the glare from the light. You can see all those lovely little panel lines. So this is going to be a really nice kit when it's all completed. Next up, we have runner G, and just like the other one, this is where we're going to see more of the inner frame. So we're going to be seeing a lot for the feet, the arms, the legs, but overall the molding on these are really nice. It's actually really well done, And you can see where we don't have those part separations anymore because we are in more of a full solid color, which is a nice dark iron color. So we have various things for our joints, legs, and these are a lot of the inner mechanics of the units. And we have our hands right here, and they're really well molded, giving us a variety to choose from. Now, speaking of weapons, we have the parts for the beam rifle and bazooka, and as we can see, we have parts here that a lot of our missiles are just going to connect right into here. So that's giving us a really nice way of displaying them, and they just are housed right in here, which is kind of cool that we will be able to actually just load them right into here, and basically we can actually see them on the inside. So that's going to be a really cool amount of detail. Then we have the top of our beam rifle. We have parts of our beam rifle right here as well. It's really well molded, and we have the tip of the beam rifle right here. So a lot of these parts here are going to be for the weapons, scopes, and housing for a lot of the vents. Now for runner eye, we are actually are treated with a really nice gray color, and I'm really enjoying the contrast. And this is actually, if we look here, this is really cool with the amount of detail that actually has, where you can actually put the beam rifle together. So you could almost do a diorama where everything is being assembled, and that will be actually a really cool concept, because look at all of this detail on that rifle. I mean, a lot of this is just going to be housed and snapped over. So the fact that if anyone paints any of this detail and basically doesn't show it off, it's kind of a shame. But I love the amount of detail this actually has. Again, with the shield, this is the part that goes into that one section of the shield. It holds our little beam sabers here, just or clips onto something here. That's really nice detail, and it just has this nice look to it. But overall, we have so much more detail with all of these individual parts, and again, this is for more of the inner frame. So the amount of detail the inner frame has is going to be a very fun, but not a very newbie related thing, unless you just do this as a straight build. So this would not be a real grade kit without looking at its fancy sticker sheet. And as we can see, these are the standard real grade stickers. We have a whole bunch of reflective pieces, different colors. We have the eyes that are yellow, various pieces that are going to be for sensors, and we have all of these warning stickers that will go all over this model kit. So what I would almost recommend, even if you straight build this, I would just say shoot it with a clear, like a clear coat on top of it, like a gloss coat. Put these stickers on once it's dry and shoot it again, and shoot it with a flat. I'll do a tutorial video on that in later projects. But this will help with getting the silvering or the shiny reflection that most of these types of stickers and decals usually have, which is basically just a little bit of the edge left over. So some people would go in with a tweezers and just kind of do that and trim off those, but there's a painting way of doing that. But overall, this sticker sheet is really nice. It has a lot of nice detail. It did not let down. So there's a few of these parts, especially the silver, that I'm not going to be painting, just because I have a really nice chrome Gundam marker that will fit this, and a lot of metallics for these other ones, unless they're like major designs, kind of like that I'm seeing on here that have some unique designs to them. I know I usually look at the instruction manual at the end of the video. I know I usually look at the instruction manual at the beginning of the video, but I was so interested in diving into that, I decided to kind of go in blind and just kind of see how all the plastic was. But now we can actually take a look at the instruction manual itself, and it's looking really, really nice. And the back also gives us a nice layout for all of the stickers and even the core fighter, which I'm very happy. And we also have like how we can get our rocket pods and stuff like that in there. So this is going to be a nice little guide. So opening this up, it's going to be kind of our standard typical, just shows us how to properly nip, be aware of different things. Overall, this is actually looking really nice. It gives us now compartmentalized sections for each one, and which runners we're probably going to need. That would actually been pretty cool, but it shows us how each section is going to be put together. So, and starting off, we have our little core fighter, and it's going to look really nice. And it looks like the cockpit can actually open up. That's very impressive. And we can see how it all folds into place and how it connects to the top and lower half of the unit. And this is the lovely spreadsheet that we all love and adore, and it is in English, so I am super happy with how well this is looking. And this is already a lovely spread showing us a front and back for all of the detail work and the amount of weathering that we can actually do, from unpainted, hand aligning, and weathering. And then we have various posability, and we can actually see how all of the other pieces coalesce to make a really cool inner frame. So definitely look forward to the build tutorial and possible review over these particular ones for the high grade, or I should say the real grade 1/100 of this and the 2.0 version. Then we have our cannon pieces. That I was right, there was a loading mechanism there that those two pieces go on. And then we have a loading rack, and then we have our little rockets right here, and our shield assembly, which is going to be really, really simple. And we have various different hands that can hold the rifle in different poses, which is really nice. And it's really nice on how well they actually show on how to attach the beam rifle. And then they do the same with attaching it in the back, on how the bazooka is going to be held. So there's going to be nice little pieces here that can hold the bazooka, and it looks like it can actually extend out, in and out. So that's actually really nice, and that's going to be really cool, especially with the beam saber there. So that's actually a really cool feature. And then we have our beam sabers here, and we can do a really cool action pose with it pulling the beam saber out, as well as different poses that we can do. And it looks like it has several areas where you can actually have a stand and, peg it into place. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude this really special unboxing video of the RX-78 2.0 real grade Gundam. And this was a phenomenal kit. It had a lot of really nice detail. So this is going to go really well for either straight builders or those diehards that are trying to recreate the Perfect Grade Unleashed. This is practically a mini version of it, so I am not disappointed with Bandai with the amount of detail that they give in these model kits, and it's actually at a very decent price, counting the amount of detail that you get compared to the original real grade RX-78. So definitely look forward to the build comparison of these two wonderful model kits in future videos. So until then, I hope you guys like this content. Please like and subscribe. You guys are what's making this channel grow, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.